Good evening. Today's date is April 1st, 2018. It's about 10 o'clock on Sunday evening. April Fools to everybody out there. It does look like market manipulators are still actually playing some pranks on us here in this market. But once again, here at Encrypto, please feel free to check us out in our Telegram chat room as well as our Facebook page with the according name, Encrypto. Want to just start out here with the markets. The market cap is sitting at about $260 billion, so it is down significantly. It's pretty crazy just considering that we were close to some of the highs of $800 billion towards the end of 2017, and here we are down significantly. But still a good opportunity if you understand what cryptocurrencies are. I know I keep saying this in every single video, but some of the solutions that are being presented in today's problems for our global economy, please do some more research into what's actually going on behind the scenes. But once again, market cap sitting at $260 billion. Bitcoin dominance looks like it's up just a little bit, 45.6%. The top five, Bitcoin is hovering around $7,005. See, Ethereum, that's definitely down significantly at $385. It's down about 3.33%. Ripple at about 49 cents is down almost 4.5%. Bcash is $660, down about almost 5%. And Litecoin is at $117, down just a fraction of a percent. So those are the top five. Once again, a lot of money has left this space, but once again, I do not believe these coins here are going to zero. It just will be some crazy volatility in these markets, but this is the growth of a new market, and we're going to see a lot of the growing pains and volatility in the early days of this as it becomes more established. And as I'll get into an article here, blockchain and cryptocurrencies, they're not going anywhere. What we're going to see, I think what we're going to see is a lot of our industries, just about every industry you can think of, trying to incorporate this technology in order to disrupt our current markets and the way things have been done. So I'll jump right into the article, the first article here. The first one is going to be coming from CCN, which came out later this evening, talking about West Virginia becomes the first state to implement blockchain mobile voting solution. So basically, you're going to be able to vote securely using blockchain now over your phone. So think about that instead of going to a polling station. So West Virginia is testing a secure military mobile voting solution for military service members who can't vote in person. It will become the first such state to test mobile voting by blockchain in a federal election. Secretary of State Mac Warner has declared the launch of a secure military mobile voting solution for the upcoming May 8th primary election. This is a pilot project, and it will be the first. It will at first be restricted to two counties, namely Harrison County and Monongalia County. With this move, deployed and enlisted military voters will have the ability to vote using the new system beginning Friday, March 23rd, 2018, until the point when polls are closed on primary election day on May 8th, 2018. All that they need to cast their vote is a regular Apple or Android smartphone and approved state ID or federal ID. Wow, just imagine that. You can just vote from your phone using blockchain technology. It's pretty crazy. The objective of this venture is to offer a secure military mobile voting solution that is irrefutable, straightforward, and more secure and open than currently available mobile voting system. It will at first be constrained to military voters who are overseas to vote in Harrison and Monongalia County. I'm butchering that county, so sorry if anybody lives in that area. In any case, the state intends to extend the program to each of the 55 counties in the upcoming November general election if this pilot project proves fruitful. Let's see what else it says. No one's counting the program as a success yet. For the program to be utilized, military voters in the two counties need to apply for a unique non-attended status and download the protected application on an Apple or Android telephone tablet. Wow. So think about all the people deployed overseas, probably right now using absentee ballots, when they can just basically use this new program and just use their phones to vote. I mean, and you're halfway around the world, and you can still actually participate in your elections for your county and for your country. I mean, I think it's another check mark to be like, hey, how can this technology be implemented and how can it be used? So, I mean, voting, we've seen some earlier articles come out about voting, but I mean, West Virginia, if they can actually implement this and it's a success for some of their military personnel that are deployed, that's pretty huge. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was atomic swaps. So for those who understand what blockchain is, what Bitcoin is, the next thing on the forefront is going to be atomic swaps. And from what I understand of atomic swaps, it's going to be basically a contract, smart contract, which allows people to put in two separate assets into a contract, and the contract's not fulfilled unless both sides of that contract are met. So if somebody has Litecoin and somebody has Bitcoin, and they're on two completely different sides of the world, one person can put their Litecoin in the contract, and the other person can put their Bitcoin in the contract. And once the agreement has been made, once both the assets go into that contract, that swap can be made. So, which is pretty cool. Just think about like a trustless, if you have a stranger who you want to make a transaction with, what's to stop them with running off with your money? Well, the atomic swap is designed to have both sides of that contract be met, or the assets are released back to the folks who put their assets into that contract. So this is going to be pretty huge going forward, I think. I mean, this will be able to at some point bypass exchanges. I mean, right now, if you want to get Litecoin for Bitcoin, you got to take your Bitcoin to an exchange like Binance, like Bittrex, Coinbase. You have to put your assets into that exchange in order to convert it to something else. But if somebody, this is peer-to-peer, is basically, long story short, peer-to-peer transactions. If a person has an asset that I want and I'm willing to swap a different asset to get that asset, I don't need to go to an exchange. So, I'm sure at some point we're not going to need exchanges if I can swap directly with you. And what we're seeing here now is some of the exchanges now, some of these companies are allowing testing of that atomic swap technology in what's called looks like here, a public beta with the latest explanation I have here. So MinexCoin allows testing of an atomic swap exchange in a public beta. So this article coming out of, I think it's themerkle.com, but it's basically going on to say, public testing of atomic swapping. Recently, a successful atomic swap between Minex and Bitcoin blockchains was conducted. So with this technology too, it doesn't have to be on the same chain. You can use completely different chains to swap those assets. Was conducted after a rigorous internal testing of operations. The next step for the team is to run a limited release of it, allowing the crypto community to test drive the new technology. The data and the feedback gathered from the stage would prove invaluable for the team working on creating a decentralized exchange, one that would allow two parties to trade without the need of a third party. To put an event-driven system in order, our code uses the idea of a reactive, non-blocking programming approach. It is good for processing a large number of events, which makes our solution functional. Also, this has to be highlighted that atomic swap implementation will trigger quality modifications for the Minex blockchain itself. Let's see. While the community will help test the protocol, Minex team will continue to work on user-friendly graphical user interface for the atomic protocol. MinexCoin is expecting heavy user demand from this feature once it goes public and wants it to be as accessible as possible for the most amount of people. Let's see. First and foremost, is due for the safety concerns of our customers. With the launch of this final product, our trustless exchange will not only improve the comfort of the exchange process, but it will also work as the supervisor. Thus, all transactions will be carried out without the third party, but our intermediate link will be entitled to block suspicious transactions, expose the user rating to avoid scammers, and monitor the security of our system without having access to the user's assets. So once again, security is a big thing about this. So how do you make sure everything is being, if this is being tested, how can we ensure that these assets are not going to be compromised, which they're still hashing everything out right now to make sure it's still going to be work through all the problems it has. Because once again, we're in the early phases of a lot of the development of these technologies. So, I think they call it anti-fragile or anti-tamper. If they find something wrong with it, they fix it to make sure it's not going to happen again. But atomic swaps, if you haven't looked into those yet, please do. Another article that came out a few days ago about atomic swaps is Komodo, duo for Komodo and Populous, ValueNet Capital partner with Atomic Swap Pioneer. So for those that have looked into Komodo, is more of, I think, a privacy coin, and Populous, which is also going to be another popular coin, which has already had its ICO. This article goes on to say the Atomic Swap Pioneer of cryptocurrency space Komodo platform has started a week in a flurry of announcing separate partnerships with fellow blockchain startup Populous, as well as ValueNet Capital, a Beijing-based venture capital fund that invests exclusively in cryptocurrency and blockchain initiatives. Starting with Populous, which is responsible for the top 30 cryptocurrency by market cap, known as PPT. Tuesday saw both they and Komodo reveal a strategic partnership which gave the invoice discounting platform exclusively to Komodo's project in their particular niche, which meaning that no other invoice factoring, discounting, and finance-related platforms or companies will enter into a partnership or agreement with Komodo. So it looks like Populous is trying to, once again, get first dibs on Komodo here, and just allowing those swaps. Once again, we're talking about swapping assets for another without an exchange, without an intermediary peer-to-peer. So if somebody had Komodo and somebody else had Populous, and I wanted to get Populous, I can give up my asset for that by using that atomic swap technology. How will this benefit the decentralized platform that is Komodo? They'll be able to integrate atomic swaps between tokens and other cryptocurrencies on a Populous beta live platform. This platform, which will run on the Ethereum network, is set to drop on May 1st and will facilitate the very first invoice trade between the Populous team, referred to as an invoice buyer and an invoice seller. Adding to Tuesday's news, for Komodo platform, the pioneering project striving to connect the entire blockchain industry with its atomic swap technology announced another strategic partnership, this time with specialist cryptocurrency venture capital fund. That's the main things about this article. But Populous is one of the industry leaders for invoice buying, and being set up to implement atomic swaps to transact with other cryptocurrencies is going to be huge, especially some of these privacy coins. That's another thing I probably should do an article on soon. Is how do I hide my transactions? The big thing I know right now with Bitcoin is the open ledger, but there are cryptocurrencies which actually can hide that. I think I mentioned a few before: Komodo, Cloak. Monero is the other big one, and I think Zcash may be another. But all these coins are going to be coming out in the second and third versions, which are trying to improve some of what Bitcoin tried to do originally. But this is another big article to look at. So atomic swaps, if you haven't looked into them yet, feel free to do some more research on them. But more technology that will be coming out to definitely validate the implementation of blockchain and how it can effectively change our lives and peer-to-peer transactions. But that's all the news I have for today. I will keep you guys posted with other things going forward, and please feel free to check us out at our Encrypto chat and Facebook page. Thanks for your time. You guys have a nice night. Bye-bye.